Hey guys, it is Amy the Relocated Tourist coming to you live once again from my office. It is Wednesday, March 11th, 2020, and I just got home from a very busy, extremely fun Disney day. So, yay, can't wait to tell you guys about it. I had to show you, look, my Powerline shirt. That's my Powerline shirt because he's amazing. If you don't know what a Powerline is, shame on you. You need to go and check yourself. No, I'm just kidding. It's from the Goofy movie. Our family really likes the Goofy movie. There's some of those like Disney movies where like just your family gets it as far as like what you're connected to with it. And, you know, not just your family, but you know what I mean? Like we love Heavyweights, Meet the Robinsons, the Goofy movie. A lot of ours are like kind of like some people think are B-list, C-list movies. I think they're A's. They're amazing. Anyway, so Monday I decided that I would like to get okay, let's be honest. First on Monday I was getting very scared about the whole virus thing. I thought, you know what, I don't know if I should be on the parks. I don't know with everyone the thing on the news has been like 6 feet away from people, and I can tell you guys at Disney it just doesn't happen. 6 inches maybe if you're lucky. So I've just been kind of a little bit concerned about it, but I thought, you know what, I talked to the hubby about it, and he said, you know, it's probably like this is the week to go before, if it really is going to ramp up or catch, or if it's going to spread, it's probably going to be in the next coming weeks with not only spring break happening, but just it's a busy time of year. Disney's just kind of ramping up into their spring break. They did have message boards, sandwich boards, you know, on the ground everywhere at Studios today, talking about the health watch and washing your hands. They have sanitary stations all around the parks. Definitely, I wash my hands vigorously, much longer than normal. That to be said, I always did the normal, but you know, I feel like now I'm just like, I'm going to surgery, you know, just getting every single finger stuff, but that's what they tell you to do. So, so let's start with the first thing today. I have not been able to get on Rise of the Resistance since my dad was here back in, let's see, December, right, Dad? Yeah, December. And I thank the good Lord every single day that I could actually get my dad on that ride because of how hard I've been hearing over and over again for people getting on it, that I am just so happy that I was able to get him on. Now, when my dad and I did it, it was open a week, maybe even a little less than that. And they were doing it where the minute you got into the park, that's the minute you could hit the button on the My Disney Experience, and it says, you know, choose your boarding group, whatever, you know, whatever thing. And so back then, you just kind of had more of a shot, I feel, because it was basically how quickly you get to the park, and then boom, and then hit your phone, and then whatever. You just had to have your whole party together. That was the catch. So then rewind a couple months ago, was it? I went in with Wendy. Her and I are both locals here, and we were like, you know what, let's go do it. She's like, you want to go try? And I was like, sure, let's go try. And this was now, the rule was it was going to be dropped at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. And so we got there probably about 7:30, no problems getting in. Security, as all their brand new beautiful security booths are now open. I guess you can call them tables. They look really nice. Disney's done a phenomenal job upgrading all their security, and so they get you through there pretty quickly these days. Magic Kingdom's still pretty slow, but they're also still making theirs up. They're still, you know, building a lot of theirs on. So Wendy and I, though, we went all the way down to where the Sorcerer's Hat used to be. Thank God it's gone. I was not a fan. I like seeing the Chinese theater at the end. The whole point of Hollywood Studios, you don't know, was that it was supposed to be this grand entrance as a Hollywood Studios. It's a movie studio, so you're supposed to feel like the red carpet is rolled out in front of you, and boom, there is the theater that you're about to go see. And basically the premiere in the show is Hollywood Studios, or back then Disney's MGM Studios. So I am happy that the theater is now open. I will miss my Great Movie Ride till forever. I just loved it. Huge Wizard of Oz fan here, so not being able to visit my Munchkin Land anymore is just a bummer. But anyway, Wendy and I went down to that point right in front there where they have, during the day, they have a big Star Wars screen, and the Star Wars characters come out and they have this little like show ta-da thing, and then they usually roll off the whole thing. And for the evening, nighttime Star Wars spectacular fireworks, they have, then you can see everything. But right now there's a stage there during the day, and then they, back and forth with it. I didn't know it rolled away, but it does. So we were waiting there, and boom, 8 o'clock hit. I remember Winnie and I both back and forth. None of us could get anything. It was gray. You'll just know because there's just no option to hit the button. It just looks like it's not taking anything. I came out of the app, went back in, came out, logged back in, logged back out. Nothing was working until finally, I think I had gotten, I can't remember, guys. I think it was like the after boarding groups, whatever you call those, you might get on groups, which is like in the hundreds or something. And I never got called that day. That they never got near my group. So yeah, it was frustrating because we'd gotten up early like everyone else did, and we waited our turn like everyone else did, and we didn't get in. So today I thought, you know what, maybe the virus is scaring away crowds. Maybe it's just my luck. And so I have that mantra, what is meant for me is meant for me. So I was a little nervous because I left the house at 7. There was, I-4 was a parking lot. I didn't get into the studios till 7:30. And then of course that's a parking lot to try to get in, and then get into the legit parking lot. And then they park me, all the way down Siberia. So then I had to like rush in and book it all the way there, get to security. I did bring a bag this time. That is one of my tips. Don't bring a bag in if you want to get through quicker to get into line. But honestly, I was backed up all the way where they usually have their Christmas decorations and like this kind of like plant area, all the way back there. That's where I was standing, and I still got in at about 7:55, you guys. So I was just like, let's go. Like I was getting so nervous. It's like the day where you don't want the family in front of you to go blue on the touch screen. Of course they did, and I was like, no. Now someone had told me, a little side note here, that the cast members were Purelling the crud out of those touch screens. I didn't see any of that. I have not seen that today. I did not see that Monday at Magic Kingdom. So keep that in mind, that when you're sticking your finger on that touch screen, that a lot of people have touched that. So wash your hands after right away, or Purell, or disinfect, whatever you can do. But just remember that touch point alone right there, millions of people touched during the day. I'm sure they clean them in the morning and the evening maybe, but there was no in between. There's no chance to. I mean, it's just, they usually go pretty quick. You can usually tell when they expect big crowds, because they won't even let you put your finger down. But they still were doing it this morning. I don't know why, for rise of resistance, because it's just, there's so many people. So today I tried a new strategy. I remember with my dad, when I got in, that the Wi-Fi and my data were incredibly strong right in that area. And I thought, they have guest services up here, so their computers have to have a strong Wi-Fi signal for them alone, the obviously employees and cast members working in the offices in the front of the park. So I thought maybe it's better if I just hang back. So I waited under the Mickey Crossroads statue there, that's right at the end of Hollywood Boulevard, and I let all the crowds go down to the Chinese theater area, and they're all rushing over to Galaxy's Edge, or they're all rushing over to Toy Story Land. And I was like, nope, I'm going to hang back this time. And I waited 5 minutes, 8 o'clock, boom, I went right back in. I went in and it lit up beautifully, and I got group 23. Yeah, it was only 8 o'clock and I got group 23. So that tells you how quickly they go. I'm also only a party of 1 today. I didn't have party of 10 or even 4 with me. So, but I got it. I did it so fast that I was accidentally trying to do it again, where it was like, no, you already have a boarding group. I'm like, no, sorry. Because you're just so stressed out. The whole experience of getting the boarding groups is just one big ball of anxiety. If you've not done it yet, I wish you Godspeed and good luck, because it's just one of those things where I had to try to tell myself, if you get it, Amy, you get it. It's going to be okay. So it's just that, okay, I got it. I'm done. I'm good. So what I did was then I walked down to Mickey's Runaway Railway, and I thought, maybe I'll just get in that line, because I don't know how quickly the groups are. They were loading group 1 and 2 at about 8:05. And I kid you not, Mickey's Runaway Railway today, at the start of the park day, like 8:05, I know, because I was like, should I do that or this, was 150 minutes like that. So what people are doing is that they're getting in that line, and then they hit their button for boarding groups. obviously makes sense. You could do that over Smuggler's Run. You could do that over in line at Toy Story, Animania, or at Slinky Dog, Tower Terror, wherever you're, Rock and Roller, whatever the high speed ride attraction, whatever you need to see that day, whatever. I mean, they have some big ones in there. Right now, honestly, Studios has the best stuff right now besides Animal Kingdom. I still think Flight of Passage and Res Resistance right there. So I looked at that 150 and I thought, hell no. Heck no, I should say. It just was too early to go stand in a line for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I was like, I heard it's a cute ride and Kira rode it already, but I'm like, how much do I really need to ride? So I went over, and the theater, I'm going to say it wrong. I can't even think of the name right now, was playing Mickey and Minnie's Vacation. And so it's kind of like a partnership with the ride. So the ride is about Mickey and Minnie's picnic, and I'll tell you all about the ride. But the movie is right next door to it. So there's the Frozen theater right there with the sing-along, and it's on the left side of it. So you can meet Olaf like around the corner. If you kept going on that sidewalk, you'll be at Backlot Express, and you'll be at Star Tours and Jedi Academy right there. Oh, sorry, something like that. Right there is kind of wedged across from it. On the right side of the restrooms is this theater. They kind of use kind of whatever, like I've seen previews of movies in there. It's been kind of like their whatever theater. Anyway, it has this really cute short about Mickey and Minnie and going on vacation, and all the seats were, it kind of reminds me of, they used to have this set from the Disney store where it was all Mickey, like spatulas and that kind of stuff. The chairs are all Mickey, and it's really adorable. It's super sweet. And then when you get off the ride, wow. When you leave the movie, they have really cute backdrops for from the short that your family can take pictures in, like Potato Land. It's hilarious. It was really cute, and because everybody was rushing to all the big blockbuster things this morning, I had all 8 people in my movie theater, and I thought, some I haven't seen yet, and I'm hoping to ride Railway today. So hey, this is gonna work out great. So that was awesome. Watched that, had a great time. I thought it was adorable. I thought Mickey has been upgraded in that short, which I mean is like, he's actually like sarcastic, and he had a little bit of like a Ren and Stimpy feel to him. If any of you have watched Ren and Stimpy, not Beavis and Butthead, but a little bit of Ren and Stimpy with just a little bit of cockiness, if you guys know what I mean. Like I found myself laughing out loud at what he was doing and how he was acting. So, this. And even if you watch the old Mickey cartoons, it wasn't like he was super nice to Pete or anybody. Like, I mean, it's like Bugs Bunny, right? Where they're all blowing each other up with dynamite. It's kind of the feel of this cartoon. I was like, this is interesting. I always smile when Goofy's on. But yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. It was cute. It was cool in there. So it's a nice sit away. Studios doesn't have a lot of those. You've got like Little Mermaid. Gosh, how many? We really don't have a whole lot. Star Tours is more of a ride. So, but like theaters where you can sit in, like Magic Kingdom, you have like Hall of Presidents and PhilharMagic and Country Bear Jamboree. There's shows that you can just sit for a while and just get off your feet and get some air, AC. And today it's supposed to get like 85, 89 today. And the humidity is back. So you could definitely feel it in the parks. So, it was just a nice, cute little sit in the morning, especially after all the anxiety of like, am I going to get the group or not? So, I got out of there, and they were already boarding up to group 16, and I was like, wow, this is flying. Like, by the time I'm actually going to be riding, I was group 23. I probably had another half hour. I was like, this is sweet. So if you go over to Facebook, I live streamed the entire Galaxy's Edge. I just walked around. I walked through stores. I walked around the attraction area so you can kind of get the feel of it, and you can see all the ships, and it's really cool. So go check that out. And it's nice. It was pretty long. I think it's like 15-20 minutes long. I just wanted to kind of get everybody taste of the magic and how excited I was about riding Rise again. And so it's like group 22. I'm watching. They have a nice digital screen, by the way. If somehow your phone isn't working, there is a screen outside the ride that tells you what boarding groups there are, and there are ones around the park as well, just so you know now, that have wait times, which is super, super, super smart of them finally, because you can be somewhere all the way on the other side of the park. At least now you can see it, because sometimes it's just technology, right? Our phones don't work. And so I'm standing there and I have this thought in my head of like, okay, it's group 22. 22 is my lucky number. So I'm like 22. So mine's 23. So, okay, I was really close to my lucky number. This will be fine. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And I hear the words that nobody wants to hear when they're waiting for something. And I hear a cast member be like, we're having technical difficulties. And I was like, oh no. So thankfully though, I felt more blessed because I was not in the queue yet. And Dad and I had been in that queue and waited for over an hour. Now we got Chewbacca coming in there. We had free popcorn, we had free food. It was a cool experience with my dad, and one time was great. I don't want to do it again. So I actually thought I took it as a free pass because I was the next group to be called. She said it could be a half hour, it could be 2 hours. They're really smart about it because they're trying to make people understand, listen, you're going to get called on your phone. You don't have to sit here and wait. It's not like a fast pass time from an hour to an hour. You have your group, you're solid, so just whatever. So I went over to the Muppet area and they have a cart there. I grabbed myself a muffin, sat down, played on my phone for like 45 minutes, took about an hour. So what should have been, if everything had gone according to plan, I should have been on, just for people for time's sake. I was supposed to be group 23, or I was supposed to get on, 22 is up to 9 o'clock. So 22 groups were done in the first hour today. So I think they're getting faster. Or maybe that's slower. Maybe other people think, no, it should have been at 30 or something. I thought it was going pretty fast. What was great though is once it went back up, obviously they ding your phone. I got it back on and the line was like boom, 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 boom. Like I smiled with Dad and I waited like for an hour. I feel like that's where our camping site was forever. Walked through the whole queue, and then they held us up at one point, like almost right before the room where you get debriefed or briefed, I guess, from BB-8 and Ray. And then we kind of went from there. This time I paid attention. Like I got on the transporter like first, if not first or second. I got it right up because last time Dan and I kind of were looking around. And if you've noticed, if you lollygag on this line, you're last to everything to see everything, but you also miss some stuff because the transporter, what I don't like what they did is that the two windows on either side, the front and the back window, is where they have all the action that you're looking at. The problem is they've made them, about 2-3 people wide, but they're loading, 20, 30 people on these, maybe more. So everyone crowds around those, so you can't see around it. So all these people have learned this, like myself. So I made sure that I could get a front row seat to the front because I didn't see any of that with my dad. We were stuck in the middle doing the tennis match of like, look, look, look. So just keep that in mind. When you leave Ray's room, you're going to go right onto the transport. And if you want to have, or even your kids want to have a chance and heck to actually see something, be like in the front when those doors open so that you can pick the right side or left side in the transport. And then once you get out, everything was fine. I was really excited because they took us down the left side of the hallway, not the right. So I was hoping I might get the other view of the ride. But I didn't. I still got the same one because once they put me in the vehicle, I was at a red line and I was like, darn it, which is fine. I'm happy to even get on the ride again. There's 2 different versions of the ride in case you guys didn't know that. So yeah, it was super exciting. And I don't know, I just enjoyed looking at all the other stuff. My favorite scene is definitely the adults, but my second scene definitely is the gunner area. Like I just think that's so cool, and I'm in awe, just in awe. The roomie with the stormtroopers, and you walk in, it's so quiet, it's so serious that you almost feel like you just walked into a library. And so last time with Dad, I was more like I was just like in shock. This time I really took my time looking around because I just didn't want to miss anything because it's so hard to get on this ride, take it all in. A lot of people are videoing, and you guys know me, I'm always got my phone out, but I put it away for this. I'm like, no, I want to just absorb all the magic, all the good Star Wars mojo, and it was amazing. So I swear I'm the only one that claps at the end of rides. My kids hate it. At the end of Star, I'm always clapping too, and I'm like, so then and this is a long one. So anyway, and then I headed off that, and I thought, okay, the other thing was obviously a Runaway Railway, and I thought, well, I'll go see it. Now it had, like I said, it was 150 this morning. I'm sorry, one second. It was 150. So just avoid it in the morning, because literally, I don't know, this is a couple hours later. It was now 80 minutes. And I got in line at 11 o'clock, and I made sure to time it for you guys. And by the time I got into the very start of the room where they open the door and you watch the first, or the comic, the preview, let's say. I'm not giving anything away, don't worry. You watch the preview, it was about 42 minutes. So that 80, I don't know where they're coming from, because that was not right. I will tell you, I waited outside in the line, exactly where it's the very end of it. The queue is, I felt so good to be home in the Chinese theater. When I walked, I was like, oh, but when I turned a corner, where you'll see where they changed the whole, and I was like, okay, I gotta make peace with this. This is not the Great Movie Ride anymore. I would give Runaway Railway an A-B+. I think the animation is phenomenal. I think there is a lot going on in each of the sections, let's say, that you probably have to ride it a good 2, 3, possibly 4 times to catch every little thing. I know there are nods to the Great Movie Ride in the Carnival area, and I just didn't even have a chance to find it, because everything was, the ride feels very fast. So it's kind of how I felt the first time I was on Rise of Resistance, actually. I felt like it went too fast. Like I was just trying to absorb everything and process it all. It's kind of how I felt on Runaway Railway. I love how it's presented. That's all I'm going to say. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't follow anyone's stuff on it. Even Kira, she just told me it was a cute ride. I'm like, that's enough. I don't want to know. I absolutely loved it. But is it Flight of Passage, Rise of Resistance? No, it's not. Their technology, you can definitely tell, and it is phenomenal. I think kids are going to go out of their minds for this ride. I think if I was a kid, I would just be blown away by this. I think a kid loves the Star Wars rides too, if they really understand Star Wars. Mickey Minnie is just an easy, the cartoons, and it's just light and bubbly, and it's fun. It's a fun ride. Like, I feel like Star Wars is very intense and very like exciting. You know, A Flight of Passage is very dreamlike and calm-like and surreal and ethereal, and you got a little bit of danger in there, but otherwise it's like this beautiful, this was a fun ride. And it took everything in me not to pull out my camera to take pictures. But I was like, no, Amy, first time, just enjoy the ride. So I did. It was phenomenal. Like I said, I give an A-B+, only because it took over the Great Movie Ride. It was a good ride, and I missed that ride. And if you hear me squeaking, that is my stomach. I apologize. I can hear it. So I don't know if you can hear it. It was a good day. And so, but once I got out of there, the heat had ramped up. The crowds are ramped up. I know many people have been asking me, how have crowd levels been with all the coronavirus and what's going on with it. Like I said, they have their messages out there. They have the hand sanitizers everywhere. I am not seeing the effects that if I didn't know about it here, I wouldn't think anything different. I saw way more masks 2-3 weeks ago. Currently, I have not seen barely any, which is very surprising. I can say in the women's restroom that people are definitely spending more time washing their hands, which is good. In general, people should always be washing their hands. Like, I love when I read any of the type of those memes are just like, you're supposed to be doing that all along, right? So I don't know. I just hope and pray that whatever this is, that it is swiftly, that it doesn't affect a lot of people. And I will say, on NBC News, we watched the nightly news here, that last night they did mention Disney World specifically, that there are growing concerns about bigger places staying open, how colleges are closing and all that. Again, this is not a doomsday thing for you guys. This is just what I'm telling you, what I'm physically seeing in the parks. And what I'm seeing is I wouldn't know if there's a virus out there if you told me that in the parks Monday or today or last week. It was like a week ago, if not a week and a half ago, I saw way more masks. So I don't know, it could be more local. It could just be, I have no idea, but I would put the crowd level today at least at an 8 or 9. It was big. They were big crowd. Lines were very long everywhere. To the point that I love being in a park, but if I see the long lines, I'm like, nah, I got my car, and it's cheaper to go hit Panda Express. So Gotta love that orange chicken. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you're all staying happy and I hope you're all staying healthy. Yeah, I just keep everybody, in your thoughts and prayers everywhere. We all can just work on this together, and yeah, I will keep an eye out myself. I will let you guys know if I hear anything on this end. Sometimes I think things don't make it as national as we'd like it to be. And yeah, it will affect a lot of people if Disney does go down. Will it? I don't know. MegaCon just announced yesterday that they are staying open, which is the big Comic-Con that we have here in Orlando next month. And so it seems like business as planned is going on here, but that doesn't mean it can't. It doesn't mean some things that couldn't happen. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful Wednesday. Tonight's Survivor. Ethan, man. Ethan! That's all I'm going to say for those of you who maybe aren't watching it next week or don't want to know. Ethan! It's my man! Anyway, have a great day, you guys. I will catch you tomorrow. Bye.